everyone, welcome to another Book Review Wednesday, and today for this Christmas Eve episode, I thought it would be cool to address something that is associated with winter and sort of, I guess, the holiday spirit. And as you can see by the title, that is the book The Snowman. And it is actually a picture book, out of all things, and so that means there are no words at all throughout the book. It's just a series of images and moments is really what this story entails, and it does a really good job of doing that. I remember looking at this book when I was little and really being intrigued by it, especially considering the fact that it was all based within imagery and not within words. And the author Raymond Briggs had this published in 1978, and basically there has been an adaptation that has been made from this story, I believe relatively within sort of a 10-year, or in between a 10-year time frame from when the story was published, and that adaptation has been well recognized and takes several detours from the original book, and one of the main being the fact that the movie, or 26-minute animated sort of special for this book, was focused more on showcasing Christmas, because there are certain elements that are within the animation that showcase Christmas, but Christmas is fairly downplayed actually in this book, because it's largely about trying to present the time period and the season of winter. And it does so really well. In case you want to know exactly what the story is about, besides the fact that it's about a snowman, basically it is kind of like Frosty the Snowman a little bit, except I think a little bit more majestic and not as goofy. Because basically what ends up happening is this little boy makes a snowman, and then the snowman comes to life. And then he and the snowman go off and fly together, and they go and see these various locations and kind of have a fun adventure. That's really at the heart of the story, and it's very cute in how it presents these series of events. It's definitely something that I think would appeal to children. I think adults as well, especially if you enjoyed the 26-minute animated special that was sort of dedicated to this book. I'm sure that you can enjoy the book as well, despite its differences from the adaptation. It's really well crafted and a very interesting interpretation of what a snowman is and what a snowman represents, because usually we just see snowmen as like happy-go-lucky figures, and although that's presented throughout the story, you do feel that there are these certain parts of it that are a little bit more on a serious level, and really you do feel like that the book tries to not talk down to its audience, and the way the pictures look are just wonderful. The animation that's in the adaptation is fairly similar and close to the book, but I do find myself really remembering that book and enjoying it for its visual style and the kinds of ideas that it was trying to kind of get across to its audience. And I think that's why it remains to be one of those ones that I think is definitely worthy of a recommendation during this time of year. Even though there's no words, it's a picture book primarily. It serves as a good story to a concept that is really well known to children and to those who love Snowman. So, if you enjoyed this kind of approach, I think you would definitely find some appeal to the book that it was based on. If you've seen the adaptation, which is, I think, the one that usually people remember. Um, it was actually part of the Nostalgia Critics sort of Christmas specials list, at least one of them. So I think it's definitely worthy of looking into the original book and seeing what the ideas were behind the book. It does kind of have a similar note in regards to the ending. It's just little details and certain things that it doesn't show within the book are shown within the special. So it's really a good way to compare the two and see if the book brings out the same kinds of ideas um, and feelings that the adaptation was going for. So it's definitely worthy if you're interested in sort of comparing and contrasting between adaptation and source material. But I think that's really ultimately all I can say about the Snowman. It's really straightforward. There's certain moments that are bright and cheery, but there's other moments where they're relatively dark. So again, there's a lot of emphasis on more of the black, white, and blue colors. I'd say more so white and blue because again it does try to create that image of winter, and this is really what it was primarily for. I don't think it was trying to convey the holidays or the spirit of Christmas or anything. It was just trying to convey the time of year and the season, and how ultimately seasons end up changing and time just keeps on going no matter what. So it's kind of bittersweet in that sense. So it's definitely worth I think a looking into if you're interested. But I think that's really ultimately all I can say about it without giving too much away as to what ultimately ends up happening. But I do remember it being a part of sort of my library when I was little. I think my mom would sort of show me the book, and I think, yeah, it's definitely good for kids. And if you really enjoyed the adaptation to it, I think the source material is definitely one that is worthy of recognition. So if you're interested, feel free to check it out. But I think that's really ultimately all I can say about it. But if there are any questions, comments, concerns, I'd be more than happy to answer them. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a pleasant day, week, month, and year, and holiday season, whether you celebrate Christmas or don't celebrate anything at all, or celebrate some other form of a holiday. Then happy holidays to you, and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Bye bye.